Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Thank you very much for tuning in for our daily Liverpool news show. I'm joined by very special guests. Owen, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Connor from the Kop Council, obviously Ricky from the 1892 Reds podcast, and Doug from the Real Football channel. Hopefully Spider potentially could be joining us as well. Spider LFC, Dave from Dave LFC Chats potentially. I've dropped him the link. But gents, thank you very much for joining me. We're just going to be talking about a certain Nunez, certain little signing. Let's get your thoughts and opinions, really, boys, and chat as well. Let me know your thoughts. It's been great to listen to rival fans whinge that when Liverpool spends some money in it. Not too bad. But Owen, I'll start with you, mate. Thank you once again for coming on, mate, as always. And just your instant thoughts, really. Do you think he's got the potential to thrive in this new Liverpool system?
Oh man, I'm so excited. Everything's running around, my blood's running around my body. It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here, because I've been looking into it. I mean, as well as, you know, the obvious, like the eye test, just look at the games he played against us and what a nightmare he was to defend against, and you know, look at it, you know, simple things like the fact that he scored 26 goals in 28 Primera Liga matches, 6 goals in 10 Champions League matches. Darwin Núñez, man. But there are other things as well that makes me really excited. So, for example, his goal ratio puts him at in the 97th percentile, the top 3% of strikers across Europe. But if you look at how many shots he actually takes per match, in Benfica's system, it's only 2.35 shots per 90, which makes him only in the 36th percentile. So if you put those two numbers together, he's only in the 36th percentile for the amount of shots he takes, but the 97th percentile for the amount of goals. He's more clinical than my auntie with a steak knife and an entrecôte right in front of her. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing with Trent feeding him and, you know, Robbo feeding him. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time at Anfield.
I think we might as well finish the show when we can't beat that anyway, mate. But spot on, mate. Con, obviously, as Owen's already alluded to, the great statistics there, really. And I spoke to you, obviously, coming out of the ground, obviously, when we played them in the second leg at Anfield, and there was something special about him. I don't know how you felt, mate, but yes, he scored like three offside goals, but it was his movements. Did that impress you? Not going to sit here and say I've watched every single Benfica game, because he haven't. But that's obviously the two legs in which we did have against Benfica, really. Your thoughts on it, mate? What do you feel it'll bring to Liverpool's attacking line next season?
To echo Owen's words, I'm very excited for Darwin Núñez and Liverpool shirts. Finally, Liverpool have a striker. No false nines anymore. But no, it's the fact that, you know, the track record for me with Jurgen Klopp and strikers. You look at the names: Robert Lewandowski, you know, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang when he was at Dortmund under Klopp was, you know, fantastic. You know, Immobile as well. Just, you know, 3 names that have gone on to, you know, be brilliant in Europe. And Klopp always does well with strikers, you know, no matter what. Of course, we've adopted a different system over you know, the last few years and that, but the fact that, you know, as me and you were speaking, he was the clear player out for Benfica. I think that's the thing you have to do, you know, to get Jurgen Klopp's attention, is to, you know, have a good game against us. You know, Gini Wijnaldum had it. You know, Sadio Mane's had it. You know, there's plenty of players out there that have had phenomenal games against Liverpool.
Taki as well.
Yeah, Taki as well. Yeah, Taki as well. But for me, mate, it's just everything you want in a striker. You know, pace, power, agility. You know, as Owen said, his goals per shots ratio is, you know, unbelievable. He's clinical. And when you look at it, there's not many strikers on the market. How many times have we said in games, you know, the last season, even the season before that, if we had a striker, if we had a proper number 9, how many goals would we be better off with, and now we've got him, and against Real Madrid in the final, I think that's the type of games why Nunez has been signed. Look at the amount of chances we created, in all 3 finals. I think on XG, I think we had we were 6 goals or 7 goals throughout the 3 finals, and we didn't score a single one. Of course, XG is XG. I think Brighton one season would have finished 5th in the league if XG were a thing. But you can tell that Liverpool and Nunez, the chances we create, he will score goals. And I just can't wait. Can't wait to see him in the Liverpool shirt tomorrow as well.
Exciting times. And big up Sam anyway. Hope you're feeling well, mate. And hopefully you're not too bad, mate. And definitely we've got a lot of shows planned, mate. And hope you recover well, mate, and look after yourself. And thank you for tuning in, mate, and every single one of you as well. And Steve, 20 days now, Doug. Anyway.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
gonna be a man. Well, as well as looking forward to your wedding, are you looking forward to a certain Diaz joining Liverpool?
Well,
it's meant to have his medical tomorrow. But yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm going to drink some rival fans' tears. And secondly, congratulations to Connor Niblett for getting 600 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, big.
So very, very well deserved. I am as excited as a little puppy. I have to say about Darwin Núñez. Like stats-wise, this season, 34 goals and 41 appearances in the Primeira Liga. That is just outstanding. And I know it is the Portuguese league, and everyone will say, "Oh, it's the Portuguese league. It's not compared to the Premier League." Me. But Darwin Núñez is somebody who I think is going to slot in very, very well. And it reminds me, the last time we lost to Real Madrid, we went out and spent big. We got Alisson. The last time we got beat by Real Madrid. So this kind of reminds me of that. We lose the Champions League final, and then we go and spend big on a goalkeeper and someone who we need to put balls in the back of the net. And I think Darwin Núñez is definitely that. And the guy's only 22. We've got this player for possibly 10 plus years. The way the things go as well. Yes, people say he's a bit pricey, but Julian Ward has got Michael Edwards magic by getting the fee down to 64 million, and then plus a couple of add-ons as well. Whether we pay them or not is another matter. But yeah, I'm absolutely excited, and it begs the question: what number is he going to get? Because he's obviously number 9 at Benfica. I think he plays as I think it's either 18 or 24 for Uruguay. So we'll obviously wait and see.
Yeah, spot on, mate. And chat, let us know, or if anyone knows, obviously, there's any information, let us know in chat anyway. But spot on there, mate. And I'll ask Ricky, do you think it's helped that Luis Diaz? I think Klopp, I think I've seen a video on Twitter, someone shared it yesterday, so apologies. But it was a clip of Jürgen speaking about how glowingly in terms of the Liga Portugal, in terms of the impact in certain players. Obviously, Benfica got a rich academy. A lot of Manchester City's players have come from there anyway, or they come through the club, sorry. But is it helped, Ricky, would you say that obviously Klopp's a big admirer of obviously that league in itself, and obviously Connor mentioned obviously certain players having a good impact against Liverpool. If you play well against Liverpool, it more or less means that you'll sign for the club one day. But do you think it's helped massively that the impact in which Luis Diaz has had on this Liverpool team, and how quick he is being able to adapt to life in the Premier League, mate?
I think you've got, is it Vitor Matos and Pep Linders are big fans of the Portuguese league. There's no doubt there's a load of talent over there. And you've got these rival fans saying, he banged goals in the Portuguese league. Listen, you can only play in what league you're in. You can only play against the teams, the league you're in. Listen, Haaland plays against farmers in the Bundesliga, bar Bayern Munich and a couple other teams. So you can't really compare the leagues they're coming from. It's going to see what happens over here. I personally think there's going to be 5 goals between them either way next season. I think we needed to react to the Haaland signing, and what way to go get a sort of carbon copy type of player, big, strong, powerful, quick. Van Dijk obviously put him in his top 5 players that he hated playing against. I've been crying out for a striker for about a season and a half now, because the games where we drop points, he could be the game changer. Yeah, he could be the game changer that will get that one goal for you. He seems to be the type of player that don't score the 4th or 5th goal. He scores the first goal, which could be crucial next season. A lot of people.
Would you say, Vicky? Sorry, that. Would you say something that's something similar to Jota, isn't it, mate? Obviously, we see Jota coming in and out with the team in terms of he's got those vital goals, and as you mentioned there, mate, it's a great point that you mentioned.
Yeah, he can same sort of type of player in terms of scoring the first goal or getting that important touch or whatnot. But I see a lot of people saying, we've splashed all our money on a striker. You got to remember, Mane's going, Takumi Minamino's going,
Origi's
gone.
Well. Yeah.
So, like, the deal's going to sort of pay for itself in the first sort of year. So, with the outgoings, we're going to get a centre midfielder. I don't know who it will be. I don't know who we're linked with now. But if we were willing to spend 80 mil on Tuchimi in midfield, there's still obviously money there to spend. I mean, we have cash. I mean, over the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons with the Champions League, I think I see a report saying that we've earned over 508 million.
So
we've got money to spend.
It's the Coutinho money.
Yeah, the Coutinho money. It's an endless pot of money, isn't it? It's still running. I see there's certain Man City fans on Twitter that why me the up. I mean, they're secretly Liverpool fans, because that's all they talk about all day is Liverpool. And now we've done this signing. Klopp's a hypocrite. Liverpool fans are hypocrites. They've paid more money for Nunez than Haaland. Go to the math. It's no
wages Haaland though is,
and paying his old man. We ain't paying Nunez's old man 40 mil, are we? So
yeah, no, it's awesome, mate. Get to everyone's comments as well. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Make sure you do head over to all the lads' channels. Their link is in the drop down description. It would really mean a lot if you could just drop a subscribe to all the lads' channels anyway, and all their socials. Make sure no one else has crept in, because this StreamYard, there we go. That sounds, as I say. But let's get to your comments. Obviously, Alan said, I've seen him at the Benfica game this year and thought he was amazing. Rock on next season. Cheers for that, Alan, mate. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it was. I hadn't come away from the ground, or I don't know, I used foul chat as well, lads. I know it was 95 minutes really in the second leg. Well, the game at Anfield, and you can't really take a lot away from the game, but it was just his movement within. It's as you said there, boys. In terms of Van Dijk, ranked him in his top 5, didn't he, Doug? So it's you said, mate. It takes a lot to do that, really. But big up John as well. Hope you're well, fella. Thank you for tuning in, mate, as well. It reminds me of a younger David Attenborough. Oh, yeah.
I'd like to have his job, to be honest, but no, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. Now, the Premier League is a total different gravy. I'm excited, don't get me wrong, but this is a big gamble. I think, 100% spot on there enough, but any transfer, anything within football is a gamble, whether you're signing a 16-year-old from an academy, offering them a contract or whatnot. Sometimes big gambles do pay off, and as the lads have already alluded to, and everyone already in chat tonight, it's a money of that magnitude, and I'll ask Owen this in a little second in terms of chat as well. It was important that obviously Haaland and Mbappe are the 2 main star poster youngsters within European football. But as a club, and probably the likes of Chelsea and obviously the teams in and around Europe, you're looking for that, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th tier, not in terms of like quality, but like the next Mbappe or Haaland, aren't you? And I think potentially Nunez. We've seen how Jurgen Klopp is spoke in the press conference. A massive admirer, and after that game in the presser, you go like, Jurgen wants that man anyway. But yes, brilliant. He is, mate. Comedy Gold, love the guy as well. I'll be happy with signing one more attacker. This is from Shane. Nice one, mate. One more attacker, attacking midfielder. We desperately need, because we are so short in that area of the pitch. Obviously, yeah, it will be interesting, mate. Obviously, we got Carvalho from Fulham. I think he will be interesting to see. Owen, where do you... I've seen a lot of people mention potentially playing him on the wing, but do you see Carvalho? He's a number 10, really, in terms of where he did play for Fulham last season. Do you envision him being the left-sided midfielder in the three, really, or?
It could be, or 4-2-3-1. I mean, if we're signing a hitman, with Fabinho and Thiago behind, I mean, I don't see the problem with that, to be honest. That sounds pretty exciting. And if you've got Fabio Carvalho behind Nunez with Salah on one wing and Diaz on the other, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I'm Harry Maguire, I don't know, the fuse to my fridge is going to explode, and it's going to start leaking overnight. I don't know, because it's absolutely terrifying, isn't it? I mean, imagine being a defender. Imagine that. And I've got to try and stop Fabio Carvalho. Oh, tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? Oh, I've got to try and stop Fabio Carvalho, Darwin Núñez, Mohamed
Diaz
Salah,
on the left as well.
And Diaz. I have to try and stop them from scoring a goal against me. Good luck.
Not too bad options, is it, mate?
It's not bad. And then we've got others as well. Goals from midfield. Talk about goals from midfield. Harvey Elliott, the forgotten man. His goals from midfield. It's Fabio Carvalho. I think we've solved that problem. I'd much rather see us buy a defensive midfielder. Someone solid as a rock hard, like my auntie's cookies. Absolutely, someone who just you can't, like the profile. I mean, a Kante style, a Patrick Vieira style, a real ball buster in midfield would be terrific.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Chat, have you got any recommendations? I know, is it Sangare? I've not seen him play, but I've just seen him in the headlines, really. I think who's he play for, Con? Again, is it
PSV?
PSV, yeah. He's been in the news, really. I think he got linked with a whole host of clubs. I think he's got like a £30-odd million buyout, but he's spot on there, though, and it'd be interesting. It's obviously when Fabinho, we've seen the back end of last season just gone, really, that we're heavily reliant in that sixth position on Thiago, as Owen said, and then Henderson. Klopp prefers Hendo's. He himself says Henderson's best position is in the six. Obviously, Hendo himself ideally wants to play in that right-hand side of the three, but I think Klopp knows best, really. But keep on getting your comments in as well, everyone. Apologies, I haven't missed any of your chats. I'm just making sure that I do go through. Yeah, of course. I can't do it. I was too much singing last night. So apologies for the groggy throat. It was 20 days now. Doug, obviously, yes, big up Sam as well. Thank you very much, mate. We will miss Sadio North. And Con, obviously, there is rumours, or I think we'll probably might be a tweet chat, so apologies. Con, the last we seen, chat, has any been developing updates? Let us know in the chat and I'll get that out. I'll try and get a tweet up. But it's sad. I think all of us, obviously, we're all excited, but it's going to be a massive hole in Liverpool's squad. For me, I think all of us, we look at Sadio Mane. He was the man for the big occasion. When you've seen Salah, he's always going to get marked out of games because he's such a phenomenal player. But what are you going to miss the most about Sadio Mane?
There's a lot in it. He was the first player on this road that we've been on. The Klopp, went to and got. I think everyone at the time pretty much didn't think that Sadio Mane would do what he's done. Again, rival fans mentioning it. £34 million at the time. It's too much, and that. And he's completely smashed everything, hasn't it? He's come to the club, won everything, especially since AFCON. AFCON was what he needed mostly to go on and win it. Before he went there, I think all of us was like, Sadio needs to he wasn't having a bad season. He wasn't having, an amazing season. And I think a little bit of it as well does come down to Salah as well, and how good he was doing at the start of the season. How everyone was like, "Oh well, if Mo Salah can do it, why can't Sadio Mane do it on the other side?" And I think since AFCON, he's been Liverpool's best player. I think he needed that confidence going, winning it with Senegal. The winning penalty, then of course the World Cup qualifier. Again scoring the winning penalty in that, and he has just been brilliant. Apparently Bayern Munich and him are agreeing a deal at the minute. If anything, it's like that second offer from Bayern Munich, then they can just think about it, bugger off yet again. But I'll miss Sadio. He's been brilliant for the club. He's given everything for the club. He wants a new adventure, and it's the fact that he hasn't gone about it the ugly way neither. He said it, plain and simple, I want a fresh challenge. He hasn't made anything public to him anyway. Unlike, some people with their agents, most of them.
There was that meltdown. I think he had to come out like 24 hours after when he was done the Senegal press conference. It's difficult, especially lost in translation, obviously. But he had to come out, like, didn't he, mate? He come out and dampened the fire, really.
But it's the fact of that as well, isn't it? It's the fact that we're letting a player of Sadio Mane's caliber go for, 36 million pounds, which is, unbelievable pricing. But, with someone 1 year left on his deal, he wants to go, it's a bargain either way. And plain and simple, Bayern should cough the money up, but again, they're just trying, in my opinion, they're trying to go, because Liverpool have got Diaz now, they'll want to get rid of Mane now for the wages or the money side of it. I think that's Bayern Munich's tactic, which, quite clearly isn't the case for Liverpool. It's the fact that, you meet our terms, or, we'll just let him go on a free and allow other teams to come in and get him.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And that just says everything about Jurgen Klopp as well, done it, Con, lads in chat. In terms of, obviously, you've got such a great manager of not just players, but as human beings, really. In terms of Sadio, probably, we're not a fly on the wall, really. We don't see everything behind closed doors, as Con has said. Sometimes if you're in a career or something, or data, you just want a fresh challenge, don't you, Doug, in reality?
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously we've got, as we've already mentioned tonight, Divock's going, potentially Taki as well. For me, I don't think we're finished, to say, in terms of this window. I think there's still another big not marquee signing, but a big signing to come post Nunez. Would you say, Miss?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think the Calvin Ramsay deal, that's going to probably be wrapped up very, very shortly. But I absolutely agree with you. I think there is money to be spent there, and as Ricky was saying, I think the fact that we were willing to pay 80 million on Tchouaméni makes me think that there's a certain midfielder at Dortmund we might go for. Wishful thinking, of course, but no, I just think that what's Nigel is what? That's funny. But I have to say that Sadio Mane has been fantastic. I mean, he's won everything that he could possibly do at Liverpool. Just so underrated, Sadio Mane, and people will look back at, like, my memories of Sadio Mane will be the Arsenal goal on the first day of the 16-17 season. What a way to announce your arrival! You basically go past Callum Chambers like he's no there, and you beat probably one of the best goalkeepers the Premier League's ever seen in Petr Cech. It's high, it's into the back of the net before you know it, and that's just what Sadio Mane's been all about. He's been so important. I can think of when he turned Manuel Neuer in the Allianz Arena, chipped him. Fantastic. He honestly, he has been a fantastic servant for Liverpool Football Club, and I will miss him, but I don't begrudge him of a move at all. So wherever Sadio goes, it's probably going to be Bayern Munich. I wish him well.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Here as well. And there's obviously John's comment there. Ward has nicked John Henry's wallet. About time. Get those pennies. Julian Ward's. Edwards is probably going, how much have you paid for them? It's like we don't. But obviously, but it's good that we went out and obviously we went out and got Alisson, Marquee signing. Obviously, he was a good goalkeeper. I don't think he was. Jurgen Klopp, we all know we don't buy superstars, we make them really, and that's obviously coaching from Jurgen Klopp and the technical staff. We make them better and gradually this year progression as well and stuff. I still think Sadio, obviously you look at the growing up as a kid, obviously Iron Robin and Ribery, both at Bayern Munich at the time, had a very long career. And they went into I think Ribery's still going. I don't know if I'm wrong, chap, but I think he's still playing in Serie A, which is a bit mad. And obviously Robin went on until 34, 35. Obviously he went to the Eredivisie League. I think I don't know if he's still playing, but I know he was last season, mate. But yeah, it would be interesting, John. Get those money. We tend to do our business a lot earlier, don't we, as well, which is an important thing. Because I think, obviously, as you lads mentioned as well, it's so important pre-season. We just say, Ricky, we spoke about Harvey Elliott already, that it's integral that we try and get these players in. And plus, we got the final, well, not the final, the Community Shield. So it's not too long ago, is it, mate? How important is pre-season for you, Ricky, in terms of getting these players in nice and early? How important do you think Jurgen Klopp feels?
Yeah, Klopp's always said that he likes to get these big players in for the start of pre-season so that they can go through what's expected of the season, get to play with the boys early on instead of going straight into league games. I don't agree that we need another attacking midfielder. I think if we stop trying to turn Curtis Jones into something he's not, he could be that attacking midfielder with Harvey Elliott, Fabio Carvalho. So that's 3 players there, and the oldest one's 21 out of 3. So that position's sorted for the next 10 years plus. For me, we need a box-to-box midfielder. We need a Henderson replacement type player. There's only one player for me that if we are going to sign a midfielder, and do you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if we signed him this summer. Money talks. We've been hearing for the past couple of seasons that Liverpool will go big one summer, and I do believe it's going to be this summer. We've seen Nunez come in. Listen, you slap 80, 90 million down on the table to Dortmund. Dortmund will snap your hands off for it, because from what I have seen and people have said, Jude Bellingham told Dortmund it's only Liverpool that he wants to sign for. His family are Liverpool fans. I believe there's rumours his dad and his brother have got a season ticket at Anfield. So he's not going Man United because they're a banter club. They're at least 5-6 years off competing with Liverpool City. I can't see him going City, but I do think there'd be potentially a rival for him and Real Madrid possibly. But I think we get Jude Bellingham, and if we could get a deal done this summer for next summer, I'll take it. I'll bite your hand off for it, because if he's told Dortmund that it's only Liverpool that he's interested in, there's going to be no bidding war. So there's no point holding on to a player, because if he flops this season, you're not getting what you could get for him this season, are you? I get his English tax and stuff, but if you just go slap 90 mil on the table now, be done with it. Dortmund will take it.
Did you see that mad stat, Ricky? Did you see? I don't know if you lads seen it as well. I think someone compared Naby Keita's season to when he was mad before we signed him, and Jude Bellingham's season. I don't know, from last season or one of the seasons. Anyway, he's just played, and Naby Keita absolutely wiped the floor with Jude.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it? But it's I suppose if you can match, you could compare. But it'd be interesting. And that's a whole nother show and another debate anyway. Naby, if he's getting a new deal, hopefully he does. I think time will tell. Obviously, Naby. I'm surprised you haven't got a Naby background.
He's the definition of, when you go what is it? You go to buy a Ferrari,
Mm.
and then you end up leaving with a Golf or something like that. I mean, he looked unbelievable in them YouTube videos. The season we signed him, everyone was getting excited, and he turned up. And I mean, putting him on par with Salif Jow in midfield, that type of player that we had. I mean, he's been Naby Keita.
He's much better than Salif Diao. You don't rate Keita? I think Keita's had.
Keita's a good player.
Season. He was brilliant last season.
He's not.
I've started Vicky now.
Yeah, he's not worth the 58 million we pay for him, and he doesn't do stuff in a game that he was brought in for. He was brought in to drive forward, break the lines between the low blocks. Yeah, but every time Naby Keita runs, it looks like I could go for a drink, come back, and he's still running with a ball somewhere. He's that slow. It's so.
I don't know, Ricky, because if you look at his progressive carries, he's in the 97th percentile for exactly that, carrying the ball forward.
He can carry the ball forward against teams like Norwich, Watford, Burnley, but when he's not scoring or assisting, that's what he was brought in for, and he don't do it enough.
85th percentile for assists, but okay. I mean, we can agree to disagree on it.
Let's talk about Taki Minamino bad lads.
Mate, he's there. I can't wait. The Taki merchant drops that one. Taki's on his way out, mate. I'll be throwing a party somewhere.
Okay.
Where is it? Julian Ward sold Taki for 30 mil. You did it there first. Right, Julian Ward's a legend. Make sure, yeah. No worries, Jay. I hope you have a good evening, mate, anyway. And thank you for the invite on the show. Last night, I did watch it on the repeat. When I got back home, anyway. I was probably seeing about 10 screens. I've had that many so I did watch it. But keep it up, mate, as well. Every single one is it. In fact, everyone's channels keep at it as well. You know, every single one is smashing it at the minute. But make sure I rattle through all these as well. Apologies if you have missed one. I am quite behind, so apologies, everyone. What do you think, you guys, are in the rumours? I don't think it'll be too much, Jay. I think he will be going, especially with the fee in which obviously we're paying for Benfica. I think we need the net spend. The net spend. We need that net spend back anyway. So we need to get rid. Not that we need to get rid of Mane. I tell you what, that would be one strong team if we did actually keep hold of Mane. Well, if he did stay for that year. Oh yeah.
We'd have players moaning that they ain't getting game time. At City, they get paid 400 grand to sit on the bench. Our players won't have that, will they?
Yeah. Hey, Jamie, mate. Hope you're well as well. Russ, how you doing, La? Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Obviously, Lacazette obviously just left you a lot anyway. I think you'll be happy about that. I think he went on a free, didn't he, Russ? No, even though he did sign for like 45, 50 odd million back then, but he's been a massive disappointment.
Well, he was like a threat.
Like a threat, yeah. So, yeah, as I say. Sebastian, how you doing, matey? Thank you for tuning in. We should sign. Oh, that's a big bold shout.
No, the sentence we should sign Paul Pogba. The sentence we should sign and Paul Pogba should never be in the same sentence. One of the most overrated players I have ever seen in my life.
Would you take him over Naby Keita?
Oh hell no!
No.
Hell no! Paul Pogba is the biggest fraud of a signing. I don't
want a midfielder who cares about his hair more than he does about his football. So
what's the matter with caring about your hair? Look, I'm thankful I've got it. Look at my dad and his balls. So
Christ Almighty, Jack. Honestly, Paul Pogba has about 6 or 7 haircuts every season.
Yeah, it's just highlight reel. It's getting an haircut, isn't it? But Paul,
more haircuts than goals and assists in a season.
Yeah. Graham Nunez. Oh Christ, it's just bloody Graham. Sometimes some of the stuff Nunez, not just on Pogba, but some of the stuff, he was an absolute bloody legend for us. But I think him and Keane, when they're both on the punditry, it's fireworks really, innit? But Paul, me being dyslexic and I didn't actually fully read the sentence anyway, so apologies, Paul. He said making tea and coffee. There we go, Paul. Yeah, that's more like it, mate. Evening, lads. How you doing, Chris, as well? Hope you're well, fella. Thank you for tuning in, as always. We'll agree We are selling a lot of players, so surely we should have more money to bring in one more. Yeah, we can't let ourselves short. I think obviously we're bringing in Nunez, and you'd hope he'd get at least 15, 20, 25 goals. Even better if he gets 25 goals in the bloody league. That'll be fantastic. But as we've seen with Jurgen Klopp signings, he doesn't tend to throw them in straight away, does he? Obviously, Andy Robinson, he come in and out in his early career at Liverpool anyway, and obviously Kostas as well was drip fed in terms of certain games as well. So it'll be interesting to see how his development does go. Haaland is too good. He has scored 4 goals versus Sweden in 2 games now. We have like all the centre backs injured right now. Obviously, Sebastian, obviously actually at your side anyway, Sweden, mate, innit? But yeah, he's a good player, Haaland. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, it is Nunez and Haaland going for the Golden Boot, along with Salah as well, if he does stay. But yeah, he's one good player. Has anyone seen the film? Not too sure, lad. Anyway, Jack, could you join for a few minutes to give my foot? Yeah, it's Sebastian. 1 sec, lad. I'll rattle through all these, mate. Anyway, and I'll drop you the link, mate, if I can. Owen definitely had to replace this.
If I could get a letter of recommendation from you, that would be very good. Send it to me, koponpodcast@gmail.com. I should forward it to the BBC.
Yeah. Where was it? Alvarez would be perfect backup for Fabinho. Alvarez, is that the Argentinian?
From the Mexican
Ajax?
from Ajax.
Ajax.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm getting confused with you with Argentinian fella. But yeah, how you doing, Luca, as well? Thank you for tuning in, mate. Obviously, Rory. Interesting. Benfica paid a record 24 million for him in 2020 when COVID was impacting finances. He has 32 goals from 57 in 2 seasons. Romelu Falcao got 31 from 51 games in 2 seasons at Porto. I see similarities. 100% there, Rory. No, you do. You love your stats and everything. You and Owen are probably the best in the business for it anyway.
He did correct himself after, Rory, because I did look at that chat, and it's actually Radamel Falcao got 41. Rory put in the chat after in 41 and not from 51. But yeah, there are still similarities. Yeah, great
spot on that. We have got the best home midfield in the world for Fabinho. Oh, we have, mate.
Yes, we do.
Darwin, El Nino, Nunez. Oh, I tell you what, even if he's half as good as Torres, peak Torres, got one hell of a bloody player on our hands. Say happy birthday to North Red for say happy birthday to North Red for tomorrow. Today we unveil Nunez. What else could you wish for on your birthday as well? You have to be birthday tomorrow. Try and guess, chat, how old I am. I'm not 50, it sounds. I'm halfway there. Who's Calvin Ramsay? Yeah.
Shall I say who Calvin Ramsay is?
Go ahead, Doug. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Calvin Ramsay is an 18-year-old right back, plays for Aberdeen. He has been basically Aberdeen's best player this season. He was the Football Writers' Young Player of the Year. And Aberdeen apparently wants 6 million plus add-ons. And he has similar traits to Trent. And right backup is exactly what we need.
100%, mate. Give you that tenner later, lad. There you go, lad. Insight from Doug. Obviously, did you see him in person, Doug? Obviously, when have you seen him play? It was.
He's been injured a wee bit this season. But I saw him against Dundee, and he likes to go forward, but he's actually very good defensively as well, and he has got a shot on him as well.
Yeah, awesome. Tell you what, if we did get that over line for the 4-6 million, bloody bargain. Everyone close your eyes when Doug speaks, and it's like listening to Match of the Day in 2010 with Alan Hansen. Yeah,
Oh, I
cool.
tell you, Gary, you can't win anything with kids.
If Curtis Jones does not stick up this season, I would sell him next. Interesting shout there, Shane.
Harsh.
I think he's still, he's on the chopping board for Shane by the looks of it for next season if he doesn't perform. I still think he's got a lot to. He's still 21 and he makes and chat as well. For me, not just that he's Scouse, probably even a bit better than he's Scouse anyway. But I think. Did he play for England this week, lads? And chats? I think he got like Harvey Elliott got a. Did he get a hat trick of assists?
Hat trick of assist, yeah.
Oh, did he? Wow. For
Not
the under
too bad.
21s?
Yeah. But
Very good.
apparently, my Everton mates, they were saying that the link up play between Gordon, that Gordon, sadly, the link up play between him and Curtis Jones was really good, supposedly. Shame he plays for the Ev. Anthony Gordon loves a little dive as well, Tony. Ginny, our emojis as well. I can see one more big signing coming for 60 to 70 million, guys. Fingers crossed here, John. Who would it be, John? I would definitely give Keita another go. 100% North. I'm on that. Ginny, how you doing, matey? Evening, boys and girls. Rick loves YouTube clips for players. How you doing? Luke Clark? The only one, Antonio, who remembers to welcome. He can't carry against Norwich, Watford, and Burnley. Now Rick Lowe. Luke's after you there, Ricky. I've words with him like later, lad. How you doing, Maisie? Thank you for tuning in. Cracking show before it as well. Every single one of you, as I said, keep at it. You're all smashing the YouTube game. I'm in the top percentile for picking. Bloody hell, fella. So all your comments, all every single one is crack me up anyway. But as long as you have a good weekend anyway, but we'll get through the last couple of seconds and then we'll get the last closing thoughts on the lads and then I'll let them go because I've had them for 42 minutes. Right, I'm on the top. There we go. Yes, there's nobody back. Interesting. Bellingham rumours, they'll always be. Bosco, thank you very much for tuning in, mate, as well. Do appreciate it. And it'll be interesting to see, obviously, the battle next season. Be really interesting. It will be Liverpool and City. You'll have obviously Chelsea will make a couple of signings, won't you? Owen? You'll have. We had this last season. We all seen the predictions, didn't we, on Match of the Day? do you foresee any similar mad predictions from all the Match of the Day pundits?
Well, the thing with the Match of the Day pundits is that they just, they've got nothing to back up what they're saying. You know what I mean? They're just like, well, Henderson is a good combative midfielder, for example, if they're going to be nice to Jordan Henderson. But actually, he's not if you look at the actual data, the actual numbers. I'm like, it's good. You can judge people with the eye test as much as you want. But if you don't have the facts and the logic to back it up. So they were going purely on reputation. The amount of pundits... not just from the BBC, because I actually, when they released that list of what all the BBC pundits had, and no one had Liverpool coming even close, I actually looked up another 22 journalists. I looked at 42 different journalists, their opinions, and none of them had Liverpool in the top two. So a lot of these people, they're just going on reputation. They're just going on, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example. There's one every season, but like Paul Pogba, for example, the amount of people who would say, yeah, but he's, they're just waking up to the fact that he's rubbish and he's been rubbish for ages. But lots of other people, know that if you actually look at, how much he doesn't run in games, how little he affects anything, how easy it is to dribble past him, to run right past him. So with any kind of football analysis, then I think you need at least some kind of something to back it up. Otherwise, it's just, well, I saw, Steve from the pub team, from the, the Red Lion, and he was much better than Bob from the Grey Goose pub. Okay, fine, all right, but you're not really, you've got to back it up. Back it up, people.
Was it this season where he started like the house on fire, Pogba, on the first
Steve,
game?
Oh, I thought you were on about the Red Lion guy. No,
the Red Lion as well.
No, it was. Yeah, no, there was. He did have a purple patch. In fact, a beautifully mauve patch, a sort of shiny violet patch, where he got 7 assists in about 5 games, didn't he, Paul Pogba? And but then, unsurprisingly, he sort of went back to the norm, which was, pretty normal.
It's great when Kante can do all the work for you defensively, innit?
And Blaise Matuidi as well in the
Matuidi,
French. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah, but gents, right, get your closing thoughts. I really do appreciate every single one who's tuning in as well. As I said, I get the lads to shout out their socials. All the links are in the description as well. Connor, you got closing thoughts as well. Thank you very much once again for coming on, mate, as well. Just closing thoughts on Nunez, or you can elaborate on anything that we really haven't touched on today, mate. Talk about anything.
That's just a full on off topic of something. No, but Nunez, and I've seen someone mention in the chat as well, and I've seen plenty of rival fans going about Nunez's price. Just remember Richarlison supposedly going for £60 million this summer to Spurs. So just that's all. Take a moment just to laugh and appreciate how on earth Richarlison is worth £60 million.
I'm
gutted they ever getting 60 million for them. Like, I don't know. Even all my Everton mates are like, well, how are we getting that much? The man's got the ego of like prime R9. Like, and he's seen his tweet. Like, I'm just happy he's not going to be.
He's arguing with Vinicius Junior that's just come off winning a Champions League, and he's acting like he's the better player. It's like, what are you doing? Like, so funny. But yeah, if anyone wants to, obviously it's too early to watch them, but just remember that Darwin Núñez, is the same price or the same price range as Richarlison at the moment. So, I think we know which one's going to be better in the Premier League anyway. But I'll just leave it like that.
Was it the classic video? Go ahead, itchy lad. On Twitter, if you know, that video. But yeah, evening Niall as well. Evening Jack and all the lads as well. Have a great evening. You too, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Spurs doing much better things this summer. 100%, mate. Ginny, Klopp doesn't want Jones to burn out. If you can't see the talent, God help you as well. 100%, mate. I think there was Owen, you're great with your stats, mate. Don't know real chat. Let me know. I think I've seen, I glanced over an article on Twitter this week. Was it something about like the numbers, or like was it a certain player mentioned about Kevin De Bruyne in a press conference? And like there's all science and obviously the medical professionals, just for the sheer fact of players are playing too much football, aren't they? Especially over the next 24 months, really, in relation to the World Cup as well. So,
I haven't seen it, but they definitely are, and they should. There should be something done about it, because otherwise they're just their careers are gonna end early.
Yeah. So chat, if you can find, I'll try and drop it in the description a bit later if I can find it. But let's quickly rattle through all these as well. Match of the day is spot on there, Chris. Richarlison in talks with Spurs. Oh yeah, tell you about that. I can see the media narrative now, especially Sky comparing Haaland and Nunez all season, unless Nunez knocks it out of the park. There will be no comment from Tyler or Neville, etc. Yes, Ginny. Journalists try and write a self-win for the Corbett. 100% there, Shane. Connor has a secret email to Liverpool Football Club. I tell you what, he does, Chris, as well. Start conspiracy theories anyway. But Ricky and Jug, thank you very much for coming on, lads. Right, I'll tell you what, I'll make a note of this. And for come at the end of next season, start with you, Ricky. How many goals do you reckon Nunez scores in the Prem next season? Chat as well, if you could just pick one.
28.
28. So Ricky's saying 28. Jug? What are you saying, chat as well?
17.
Con?
I was going to go 17. Shit.
You can go 17 if you want.
No,
that.
19. Go
19.
19.
Unlucky.
Owen, are you a stab in the dark as well, lad? Owen.
22.
22. I'm gonna go 15 because then I'm going low, and then if he gets more, then sound happy days. But obviously Sebastian's gone 25 as well. But Owen, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Shout out your channel and obviously what you've got coming up this week. And thank you once again for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks everyone. Thanks to all the guests here and everyone in the chat. And thanks for the invite. Yeah, Kop On Podcast. We're mainly audio, wherever you get your audio podcasts. Spotify, all that. We do have things on YouTube here and there. But it's mainly download it on wherever you listen to your podcast. And just one more stat before we go about Mane compared to Nunez is something that's surprising. If in terms of defensive statistics, so pressing, tackling, intercepting, blocking the ball, clearing the ball from a defensive position, and defensive headers won, Darwin Núñez scores much higher than Sadio Mane on all of those metrics, apart from aerials won, like aerial headers won, where Sadio Mane's in the 70th percentile. And Darwin Núñez is in the 63rd. So apart from that one, the other 5 metrics. So basically what no one's talking about with Darwin Núñez is that not only is he extremely clinical, but he's also, like a proper defender from the front. So, I mean, we've got that to look forward to as well. He reminds me of Drogba. He reminds me of Ian Rush. Can't wait to get, further excited about him and, big him up even more over the summer. So get in touch. Kop On Podcast. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, mate. Always welcome on the channel, mate. Thank you for taking the time out tonight, mate. Obviously, all the lads' links are in the description. So please do head over. Really do appreciate it if you could do that as well. Good mate Nicky as well. Thank you for coming on, mate. Hope you enjoyed it. Shout out your channel, mate. Have you and Luke, are you busy this week? Any shows coming up?
Yes, 1892 Reds Podcast on YouTube. We've got a show tomorrow based on Darwin Núñez and other potential targets. And then I believe Tuesday we've got a show with a special guest coming on. So, and hopefully we get you guys on for a few transfer shows before the season.
Thank you very much, mate. As I said, so always welcome on the channel, mate. Appreciate you taking the time out tonight. And Doug, 20 days, mate. 20 days. Yeah, and thank you for, as I said to the lads, thank you for coming on, mate. And just shout out your channel and obviously what shows you got coming up this week.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, first of all, happy 27th birthday for tomorrow, Jack. And happy
you're not meant to tell chat how old I am.
Happy 23rd birthday to Mr. Connor Niblett for Tuesday as
about.
well.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But no, my channel is the Dugout Football channel on YouTube. Twitter handle is Enron_1992. Instagram is Douglas.Horn, and you can also find me on Facebook at Douglas James Horn. I am on TikTok and Twitch, but not going to bore you with those two. But thank you very much for having me, and it's a pleasure.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you for coming on, mate. As always welcome. And off the back of Doug doing TikTok dances. He doesn't do that. Sounds. Connor, you got a TikTok, haven't you, lads?
No.
Yeah.
It's for the you got to pay £5 a month for that type of content.
What's on here?
No, I get it. Yeah, no, it is. It's practically just the YouTube variation of TikTok, realistically. But yeah, it is the Kop Council on YouTube and TikTok and all that good things. To be fair, it goes better than YouTube's algorithm, which is weird. But yeah, the Kop Council. And a big thank you to everyone as well for getting us to 600 subscribers as well. I do very much appreciate it. But yeah, come and check us out.
Smashing lad as well. And from everyone in chat as well, happy birthday for the 14th. It is the 14th, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you remembered.
I'll be able to, it's a surprise. So, thank you very much for coming on, mate. And thank you to all the guests as well. Thank you, gents. And most importantly, everyone, thank you for getting involved. If you have just dropped in or if you're watching on the repeat, I do appreciate it. Not just on my streams, but just everyone's support on everyone's streams. Absolutely bloody legends. And enjoy your Saturday. Look after yourselves as well, Reds. And look after yourselves. And obviously, as Ginny's saying there, happy birthday. Thank you very much, mate. Don't give away my age. It's all right. I'm getting grey and old. I'm getting there. And obviously, happy birthday to North.
That's all right.
Well.
Everyone knows how old I'm going to be on the 9th of July anyway.
It's the big 30.
It was a big 30, yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're all getting old.
But to be fair, I always said I wanted to get married before my 30th birthday, and I've done that with a week to spare, so I'm pretty happy.
Yes, well, we'll see you before the wedding, mate, anyway. But thank you very much for coming on, lads, as well. And as I said, make sure if you have missed your comments, I really do apologise. There was that many bloody comments, so apologies if you have.
I'm glad you haven't put Chris's comment on about Keita.
I've just seen it.
Oh yeah, I think I'm even behind here. I haven't even seen that. But yeah, so apologies, everyone. Right, shut up, McKindo. Let the lads go. Enjoy the Saturday night. Thank you very much, boys, for coming on. As always, everyone, have a look after yourselves and enjoy your weekend. We'll be back live tomorrow for another episode. Shut up, lads. Shut up and sit down.